I always had a love of houses and buildings and seeing the progress of the work and seeing the job at the end of the day, the completed job. This would be one of my standard jobs. Probably 90% of my current workload at the moment would be refurbishment of existing dwellings and extensions.
Well, as a Chartered Quantity Surveyor in the construction industry, you literally get to shape the structure of towns, cities and industries. My role would be to develop and manage budgets for all types of construction projects, ranging from building schools, libraries, to working with large corporate clients.
At the very start of the process, a scheme would be drawn up by the architect. It would be handed over to the quantity surveyor who would put a cost on it. This cost would then be compared against the client's original budget. If it's plus, the quantity surveyor would prepare a list of suggested savings to take it back in line with the client's budget.
But I suppose our role would be on a construction project to develop the initial budget, then to, I suppose, tender the packages, tender the construction works to construction companies, and manage those budgets throughout the project in order to bring the projects in on budget, on time and to plan.
I think quantity surveying is a role that's multifaceted, so you can go from working at your desk in an office measuring drawings to being out on site actually involved in the process.
And as the project would go on, we would always cost manage and cost control it. We'd always keep an eye on the different elements and make sure they're staying within the budgets that were allowed and agreed. We'd always check design drawings against what's been built on site to make sure there's no surprises.
As I'm going on in my career, I'm just developing and upskilling more and more in construction technology and also new software developments. At the moment, for example, I'm looking at building information modelling, and I also have a specific interest in government construction contracts. It's great when you see a project from start to finish and you know that your input and your help has brought that in on budget or under budget. It's a very rewarding job.
The difference between a Chartered Quantity Surveyor and a Chartered Building Surveyor is that a Chartered Quantity Surveyor is responsible for budgeting and financial management of large construction projects, whereas a Chartered Building Surveyor is responsible for the management and maintenance of existing buildings. A building doctor, if you will.
I provide expertise and professional advice on all aspects of property and construction. So this would be in relation to working on a new site or being concerned with the aftercare of existing properties and their performance.
One of the things that most people associate building surveyors with is a pre-purchase survey. When somebody is going to buy a house and are concerned that there could be hidden defects, they employ a Chartered Building Surveyor to review the house and advise on any hidden defects.
Obviously that purchase is one of the biggest that people ever make in their lives, and it's very important to get proper professional guidance and a detailed survey carried out when you're considering such a significant investment.
In terms of retail office fit-outs or commercial fit-outs as well, so you would have exposure to both the landlord and the tenant in terms of they're both going to have different requirements and different service needs. So if we looked at it from a tenant perspective of a tenant taking on a lease for a new property, they would ask you potentially to review their repair clause and to see what obligations they're likely to have under their lease.
I think that building surveying as a career is very attractive because no 2 days are ever the same. I can be on site trying to diagnose a building defect, or I can be in the office doing drawings to send out to tender.
You might be meeting in the morning on site wearing boots and hard hat with the site foreman, and then going straight to a meeting with the CEO of a multinational corporation.
You've got new projects, new clients, new people.
The good thing about being a Chartered Building Surveyor is that there's always buildings. Whether they're residential, commercial, industrial, there will always be building defects and always a need for a Chartered Building Surveyor.
It would be internationally recognised, so a surveyor can go abroad, can go anywhere in the world and find work.
I could go to London, Rome, Sydney and use the skills that I've learned in those particular markets.
It's always different and it's absolutely brilliant.